Welcome to the We Love Wrestling Spot. My name is Terry. I'm with Danielle from the Pretty Hills, and today we are with an unapologetically black podcast. We are with a podcast that anytime you listen to them, you know exactly what they're talking about and where they're coming from. They hold no shots. They hold nothing back. This is the Black Rasslin Podcast. How are you doing today, sir?
Thank y'all for having us. Thank y'all for having us.
Thank y'all for joining us. I always started off by asking this one question to people. What started your love for wrestling, or why do you love wrestling?
I got locked up selling weed. I had a lot of time in the day room. The day room, that's all they watched was wrestling.
Not even more TV. It was just two niggas on the yard.
That's all they had. My bad, Terry. Go ahead.
Stupid. He says go ahead, but then he doesn't answer the question. You see how that works? You see how that works?
Anybody else got anything to add on that? You know, you talking about,
Fam, go in. Fam, because I know you got some, you got your passion in your chest, fam. Go in.
So it's kind of weird for me. So the first time I ever seen wrestling, like, I'm old, right? So when I was a kid, the TV was, you had to turn the hole, you know what I'm saying? And so Saturday morning, cartoons are gone off, you know what I'm saying? I'm dejected. I feel awful. You know what I'm saying? No more cartoons for the day. What else on the TV? Click, 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 click. Why that nigga ain't got no shirt on? Why they fighting?
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, just you seen two big white niggas fighting, and then, you know what I mean? Then they yelled at each other.
Yeah.
I said, well, all right.
I'm on. I think, I don't remember when I know I was pretty young when I saw that bastard Hulk Hogan's cartoon on TV, but I think I keep watching pro wrestling because it's I don't want to say it's the easiest form of entertainment, but like it taps into something that I'm getting way too poetic for a conversation about pro wrestling, but like anybody, like you can watch it and okay, that person's good, that person's bad, and they're gonna have a conflict. Like it's the easiest thing for anybody to pick up on, and when it's done really well, it's probably some of the best shit that you can watch anywhere. If I'm being real,
I totally agree with that. Are you gonna stay with the rec room and the people watching wrestling? That's what you're gonna stay with?
Oh, it's true, nigga.
That's really true.
Don't believe.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. So, me and brother Fam grew up in the same house, right?
Okay.
So, like he said, Saturday morning, you go through your cartoons, whatever, your Dennis the Menace, all that shit. Once 11, 12 o'clock hit, you know what time it was. So, just seeing like around my time, it was when I was like digging into it, was Hulk Hogan. You had Coco Beware, Randy Savage, you had Adrian Adonis, and all those faces and shit. But I think the after it went off is what got me more into it, because afterwards, I used to get my ass whipped by the older, you know what I mean? Because niggas is what's his name, what they saw on TV. You know what I'm saying? And then you go down the block and then you do.
I
learned it from watching you.
I want to apologize to my cousin Ronnie, because there was one Christmas. There's a tape. Was it 95? There's a tape. You see him on the tape. He ran into the room like they was choking me on my neck, because what we was doing was we saw 911 on ECW, and he was young enough I could pick that motherfucker with the choke slam and slam him on the bed, and he got pissed because we just kept that Christmas was not good for him.
Well, if we apologizing, right, I gotta apologize to my cousin Booby.
Who?
So, Booby. My cousin Booby. So first of all, the ill part is I see wrestling, right? And I tell Booby, like, yo, I seen these niggas on TV. I didn't say niggas. I was 5. I don't know. I said, I see these two big white men on TV wrestling, and then they was yelling. And he was like, oh, you mean wrestling? I was like, yeah. So he started putting me down. He said, oh, them fake. Watch these dudes. And he put me on to the NWA at the time. So we get the LJN figures. And if you don't know what the LJN figures, they're about a foot tall, and they are, they made out of like eraser meat, right?
Yeah.
So you got the two dolls, and they, you know what I'm saying? So we playing with him, and he tell me he won. Like, how you tell me we won? You know what I'm saying? I get mad. The Hulk Hogan was just like this, like Brother Man was like this. So I threw it. It was like a big rubber ninja star. I hit him in his jaw. So look, my bad, booby. You still got your kids, so I didn't mess nothing up. But my bad, booby. You know what I'm saying? It's all love now. It just wasn't that day.
Jesus. Now that since we apologizing, again, I'm the youngest nigga in my house. You know what I'm saying? So I lost every fight.
As you should.
Until I see like Mr. Fuji, right? Mr. Fuji used to dig up in his jaw and throw the powder. Bam. You know what I mean? Blind whoever, and then they get the 1, 2, 3 and shit, right?
That was me in the 90s.
So my cousin, right here, does what they would do best, whip my ass, because I'm the youngest and I'm the smallest and shit. So what I do is go for the Tide, right? It's the Tide with the crystal pow.
Oh my God.
Serial killer, yo.
But he don't know. Pow. Throw it in his eyes and shit.
My nigga, my glasses. Now, nigga, I wear glasses to this day.
I knew
exactly when he said it, right? I knew the story. My glasses this thick to this day.
So cuz
with the power crystal.
Cuz hit the deck. And I get the pin, but I see cuz eyes watering. I'm like, yo, you alright? You like, yeah, I'm good.
I was crying.
I know you was.
Wasn't watering, nigga. I was crying.
That's a shame.
My apology. Back to you, Terry.
Well, since we apologizing,
oh my man,
let me go ahead apologize to my cousin. You know, Bret Hart had that sharpshooter when I was growing up, and I didn't realize that it could actually hurt somebody. And I sat all the way down on his back and twerked it back like that, and cause I always see you and you still got that back injury. I ain't never apologized. I ain't mean to do it. I ain't mean to do it.
That's terrible.
Nigga back gristle right now. ain't no bone in that motherfucker.
Cause you see a move, you like, let me do this move, and then
let me try that.
Back, and yeah, because I'm sorry, but
kill this man.
I want to talk about you guys' podcast because Danielle told me about it, and
Danielle real.
I was almost at that point where it's like, I'm watching wrestling, but where's my voice at? I'm listening. I'm looking at British people talk about wrestling. Right. It's not like this is the only thing that I'm listening to that's with British people. Everything else on battle rap, music, everything is with that. So where is my voice in the wrestling community? And a lot of my friends was feeling that way. But then to hear your podcast and just how unapologetic you guys are when you talk about wrestling, it touches me. Because I'm like, I know these people. So what made you guys start your podcast?
I feel like we just had a recent celebration. Was it 10 years ago? Technically, we're in the second iteration of the Black Rasslin podcast. Initially, what would happen was I would watch pro wrestling and be on Twitter, and these two jokers would be on Twitter. So we would talk about like Monday Night Raw a lot. If you find, don't go back and try and even, don't worry about those conversations. Don't worry about none of that stuff. At the time, I was listening to podcasts like Juan Epstein and other things. I'm like, this can't be that difficult. So literally, I was working at a customer service job. I would leave my desk, take breaks, and record segments of just me talking about what was going on with wrestling. It was very ghetto. I had a BlackBerry at the time. I was recording it by myself, and I would go home. I would throw music in. I would chop it up, and I would post it. And these two brothers, they listened to it. Now, fast forward maybe, it would have been about a year. It was the summer of 2012, And I got a job, fortunately it's the place I've been working at in the last 8 years. But I knew when I got the job, I was like, I'm going to have no time to do the podcast. So I put the podcast on hold for a minute. It was maybe like 4 years, 5 years, something like that. And one of these days, and like me, Fam, and Matt, we were always cool. We would always, because we would always chop it up on some pro wrestling shit. And it was one day, I think it was Fam approached me. It was like, yo, I know we've been doing the podcast because they had their own podcast. Shouts out to the Where's Buffy podcast. They were like, we have an idea for bringing Black Rasslin back. So I remember the first show it was a Royal Rumble. It was whatever 3 years ago. If you go back, it was the first show of what I consider season 2 of the Black Rasslin podcast was about that. And we've been going literally every week ever since. We've done the BRP 50. It's an annual list. This was the second year where we did a 50 list of what we consider to be the top Black men and women in the world of professional wrestling, both mainstream and underground. There's merch, that has been selling well. At the very least, we ain't got none left. So, you take that for what you will. But, I think throughout the time, like you said, it's been one of those things where, over time you realize, damn, there's really only so many outlets that speak to us. And I think, you mentioned your age when we were talking earlier, and I'm like, shit, like you're right in our lane. So, because I'm not gonna flex, but we talk wrestling all damn day. You know what I'm saying?
Flexing.
We talk wrestling all day, and we have these conversations all day. So we already know that's in the bag.
Sure. I'm fairly sure that the phrase "I'm not gonna flex" has
I'm not trying to
ever been not followed by a flex.
It's only a flex if I got the bank account to prove it. Is what I'm saying. I'm just saying. People, because I think a lot of people think because of who we are, and because we like to joke, we have a lot of fun, but I don't think they realize that we can talk this wrestling. If you want to talk wrestling, we can have that conversation, but it's not until people actually sit down and kind of decipher the layers of hip hop talk and video game talk and grown women having kids and shit. There's a lot that goes into the podcast that isn't just wrestling. Here he go, this man. This man, when you talk about throwing Tide in your family member's face, it made me realize why your son is the way he is. That little man is
serial killer.
He's from the underground.
Hey, Danielle, can you drop a bomb for Cal Master Flex?
I'm just saying, like it's. I don't think people because I think it needs to be noted, and I appreciate you guys, for having us on again. But a lot of people didn't really pay attention until the BRP 50 in 2019. Just remember, we had Stat Guy Greg on a couple of SummerSlams ago. As a guest, there's things that we've been doing, and I appreciate everybody, putting in the support, and we see the day ones and the people that have been out there, but there's a journey that it took for this podcast to get where it is now that I don't think a lot of people, because again, we're almost 200 episodes deep since we've been doing the podcast as a trio. So yeah, it's been some time.
Back to you, Terry.
I hate for them good guests, yo. Because you could get like a nigga be like, yo, you like wrestling? Yeah.
I love it. I watch it all the time.
No, I knew when I was like, we got to get you on here, I knew it wasn't going to be none of that. I knew that. I knew it was going to be, I told Terry it was going to be a good time.
I'm trying to figure out because it's a lot going on right now. We was just this morning we saw that damn that pop figure that Mr. T in the full red Hulkamania WrestleMania bullshit. I can't with it.
Before we proceed, I would like to send my respects to Mr. T's dear mother, who he spent a great deal of time talking about in his Hall of Fame speech.
You got it
right. That happened. What you say, Terry? What you say?
You talked about that Funko Pop. It's a double package.
Wait, what's the other what's the other pop?
Say what now, Chuck?
we say that now, Chuck.
In the whole get up with some other guy.
Is the other guy Hulk Hogan?
Yep.
Terry?
Damn. Hold up. I need to see this. I'm sorry.
I told you
That's good, then.
knew what they was doing. I told you they wasn't going to get somebody to buy that unless they did something else.
That's
with
a
it.
fact.
But
That's
what they
is that the Macho Man?
But they showed
did that come with the Macho Man that came out too?
And then on Amazon, it's like an Amazon special. Somebody sent me like, "Yo, you getting this?" And I was like, "No."
Bullshit. That's crazy.
No.
Oh wow, that's really a terrible. Hold up. Let me see if I can find.
Because I get like emails about Funko Pops. Because I get like all like the real dope Negro Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Oh, it is him and Terry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
this is terrible.
It
is terrible.
It is you.
I'm glad you found. I was damn sure gonna share the screen.
That's the pair that knocked the nigga out on TV, yo, and he split his wig. Remember?
Facts.
Remember Hogan put the nigga in it? He's like, this is a neck hole.
and that motherfucker, he said, he dropped.
Oh, what happened?
This isn't coming out until November. Can you get them? I don't even know if I would want the Mr. T by himself, but can you get it separate?
It's got the whole.
Probably after it dropped.
People been looking for it separate, but it's probably got to wait till November when it actually dropped. So this is Amazon.
Hey, nigga, I need that ready to die.
Hold on, it's two of them, right? It's the one with Mr. T with just his finger like this, and then this one when he's gripping the bar.
Is it?
So the double one is.
So he got the Hulk Hogan on. He got the Hulk Hogan on both of them.
On both of them.
Oh no, I'm cool.
Oh yeah, I see the one where
cool. I'm gonna just
like
get
this.
They got the Mr. T and the 18 truck. You just get that.
Yeah, get the BA Baracus. That's hard. Much harder. Yo, did y'all see, I'm sorry. I know we was talking wrestling, so I usually like putting something on the TV. Did y'all watch the Sasha and Bailey Untold?
No,
over the weekend. Nobody.
When did it
drop?
It
was playing in the background.
It dropped on Saturday.
It dropped. It Saturday was the Saturday of Takeover 30 was the 5-year anniversary of their NXT Takeover Brooklyn match. I didn't know it was coming out. I didn't see any of the teaser or anything. I was talking. Matter of fact, I was talking to them on the Polo, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna put the match on," because I had just copped the shirt. So I'm gonna put the match on. When I went to the network, this shit said Untold Sasha Banks and Bailey. I didn't know if it was new or not. But then I saw the date, and it was that Saturday, so I threw it on. This might be the third or fourth time I watched it. It's really good.
I got it.
Yeah, everybody saw it, said it was good, man. I had a whole lot of Crown Royal that night, so it worked out.
You were out early.
So
you were out.
What did you say, Matt?
Don't ask him what he said.
It's just like tonight.
Oh. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, now you had that much Crown Royal tonight.
No,
hold on, but I'm about to match you.
This boy, wow.
I'm
about to limp the champ. I can't fool with you. I gotta go. I gotta report to the plantation tomorrow early.
Yeah, how about that?
Back to you, Terry.
All right, back to me then. You said something earlier that I really did appreciate. You said that they hear you clowning and everything, but you talk wrestling all day.
Word.
Me and my friend, we have a little thing where you can put wrestling into like each moment in your life, and you just talk about it in that way. That'll be coming. I'm not gonna say too much because he might get mad at me, but what you said was basically something that is the way that we talk all the time. So I tell you like this: I be at work and I'm like, man, my bosses ain't pushing me right now. Everybody out here like what I'm doing. They stopping my push. Why I got to be held down right now with my push?
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like you can apply that all the time. So here's what I want to ask you guys. Tell you about 200 episodes in. A lot of people listening to you. A lot of people who we talk to have bigged up your show. Like, let me say
out to them niggas.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
Yeah, they ain't right. They definitely ain't right.
They the serial killers. Yeah, you better watch them. No, I'm just kidding.
Y'all niggas listen to this? Well, y'all serious.
You got the support of the community out here. So where was your idea to like take the Black Rasslin podcast when you started? Did you think that you'll be getting this type of traction with people listening to you, like your what the list that you did last February?
Yeah,
I saw that. I didn't really put two and two like, oh, they have a podcast, let me go listen or anything.
Word, yeah.
I saw the list and was like, okay. But now that I'm listening to your podcast, like,
I like hearing that. I like hearing that people saw the list and didn't even know it was a podcast. That's a blessing. That's a blessing right there.
That's the point.
Yeah, exactly.
That goes to show the work that you're putting in, people noticing, and then just to know that your podcast is doing. And I got to put your podcast over again. I mean, it's a good podcast because with everything I got to say, with everything I listen to and the way that my life is structured and everything, it's not much out here in the wrestling community that you can go to, and you guys have to be one of maybe a small handful, because Danielle will tell you I don't listen to too many podcasts because I don't have the time. But You guys are in that handful that's like, let me take some time out while I'm driving and put them on.
Damn, I love to hear that, Terry.
That's what it is. So I thank y'all again.
So Terry also is a serial killer.
Terry told you he had a body. Body.
Podcast over. Because remember in the beginning of us doing the podcast, the running joke was always, yeah, we're not gonna get no sponsors. Like it was the podcast was too raw. It was too real. But I was always surprised. I was surprised when I was initially doing it just because the quality was so bad. But, now that, we have, I'm just talking like specifically audio quality. Like when I say I was recording into a BlackBerry, I was literally recording into a BlackBerry. It was a lot of fun. And again, there were like 4 people that would listen consistently. I'm surprised every week when, people say there's people that are waiting for it. I never expected that. I don't think.
For us?
Yeah, I mean, shouts out to Dre, like I said, the day ones, but I think the thing is that a lot of the stuff that we've ended up doing is kind of just like, let's do it. The BRP 50 wasn't nothing but we should do something special. Because like this was the thing. Before we even got back in the podcast, I'd started the Instagram, and the Instagram was just going to be, photos of black folks. If you go all the way back on the Instagram, it's not really no rhyme or reason, except for when it came to Black History Month. And I made sure it was always somebody different on every day of Black History Month. Some years it was, all right, we're going to try, put more women, and we're going to put more women from the past, and, to try and mix it up. But like at that point, 2-3 years of that, and again, I mean, no disrespect, but you saw other podcasts in our space doing the same thing. So we dare to be different, and that's why I like having these 2 brothers specifically with me, because it's nothing to throw out, and they'll say if the idea is bullshit, it's bullshit, and they'll let you know why. But if it's a good idea and it's something we can manage, we're gonna again we're at the point we got merch now. Who was even thinking about people doing multiple runs of certain designs of a Hulk Hogan t-shirt? Like again, it's nothing that it's like niggas ain't getting rich. You know what I'm saying? Again, we make a certain amount, we sell it that amount, and then it's on to the next. But I think it's kind of just like the passion turns into us thinking in a different way and looking at pro wrestling in a different way, and again, it manifests itself however it does, and the fact that people respond to it and appreciate it is more than I thought, because we just talking to ourselves at a certain point. You feel me?
Danielle, jump in this.
Wait, I want to see what man has to say. He has something to say.
I'm trying to I still don't get it. Like niggas, pardon me. I'm not sure if I can say niggas, but niggas.
I think you can say niggas.
We 20 minutes in. It's over now, bro.
I think you say it.
Oh, all right. Shout out to y'all niggas.
Oh, all right.
It surprises me when I see people who say, yo, I listen to the show, or when we do a Zoom or some shit, they tune into the Zoom and they going back and forth with us. I'm still shocked. Like, y'all niggas is really fucking with us.
Facts.
I'm just surprised. I'm just because I come on here and talk greasy all day long to everybody. You know what I mean? It's all love. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just jokes. But to see motherfuckers enjoy just me and my cousin, me and Cal, whose family cutting up with each other, it's crazy to me. It still is. And don't run up on me in the street for no hoodie, my nigga. Don't do it. Stop
it. I don't think you understand wrestling fans. Like, you saying don't do
phony, nigga. I'm not.
No.
I tried to tell him, but I tried to tell him.
That's the nature of wrestling fans. Hey, yo, man, if niggas do the Pod Nation brunch, my nigga, if niggas see you before you see them, and they do not have any merch,
I'm not that
nigga. Someone's running down.
Listen. I'm a very I'm very toned down. I'm a toned down individual. When I'm when I'm chilling 90% of the time. Do not run up on me.
In the field?
Don't do it. No, definitely not in the field.
I like
it. Because
I'm not that approachable if I
don't
know who
everything
you are.
is real in the field.
I like it. I like
it. Yo, can you imagine? Like, it's so weird. First of all, I don't know about these gentlemen. I know Brother Cal has been going through it the longest, right? But when in public or somewhere where you're not in a capacity of pod and niggas run down like, hey, yo, brother fan, hey, yo, it's always been a little off-putting. Hey, yo, ill fan.
You calling me by my rap name.
Facts. But I think you got to remember, because I was reading something. This is, again, we get so deep into this shit, but I was reading something about why people connect the podcast so, differently than other forms of media. And they say a lot of it is because if you get in a good conversation, you really do feel like you're a part. Because I know I've listened to podcasts and I'm responding like I'm sitting next to them in the room. So I think what that does is the more people listen, you don't realize that people learn about you. Like there's someone listening to the podcast we never met that probably knows more about you than you realize, and they will walk up on you and say, yo, what's good, because they feel like they know you, but you have to let them know. Parental advisory.
Listen, I just
6 feet.
Listen, I just backed out on my aunt the other day for coming in my house unannounced. My nigga.
I've been there.
I didn't know it was you. I'm sorry, Aunt Stephanie. I did not know it was you. But what I'm saying is, when you come in, I'ma love you like you were one of the family. I'ma show you love like you was one of the family. But do not run down on me.
Yeah. Well,
it's always love, though. It's always love.
I do. We've talked about this on the podcast, but I think it's a perfect example of like how different things are. Because I mean, there's certain, like a Conrad, some of these bigger YouTubers in the wrestling space, they're doing, talks, they're doing meet and greets. Like, again, the realest thing we said tonight, we just a bunch of, niggas with kids, whole fathers and parents and shit is just walking around, and it's like, we didn't mean to have a design pop off on a t-shirt. We're sorry.
Have kids.
I don't know what you was doing. You said you
the winter cold.
You go into battle unprotected. You said no helmet, no nothing.
I ain't got no weapons on me.
The sergeant said, "Hey, private, you in a helmet?" And it's no, I got this.
No, I got this.
Clipped up, 18. But so like a t-shirt to come out, right? And the people, I stress to people, if you want to know when that merch is coming, hit the Instagram. The Instagram is, we are always thinking when there's news, the gram is where it's most active. So I tell people, and there's people that know when that news, when we let you know, all right, it's live, they go and they cop, and they again, they do very well. A lot of people responded to some of those designs. We weren't planning on putting out again, but they come out again. But it's always a situation where it's like 1 week left, 2 days left. Shirts is out, and then all of a sudden it's, oh man, do you have XYZ? It's like, nah, like, we don't, and I don't know when, because we don't have the bread to think about, getting champion shirts to get stuff printed on them again. Like it takes a lot when you're doing it on your own. I know the both of y'all definitely know, trying to live a life and podcast is a lot. So, I think people just need to take a step back and understand those things when it comes to real fucking people, and not, like podcasters for hire or whatever, some of the other people who've been blessed to live that life.
I feel like we're in a safe space because I just call these spotlights. We don't do podcasts at all.
There you go.
Yes.
People been.
I love when a nigga say it's a safe space because he's about to jump off the porch.
I'm about to say something.
You know what I'm saying? So anybody got any problem with anything that goes on? We love wrestling. You can come holler at me, but
there you go.
Present what we want to here. We do what we want to do here. We're not controlled by nobody, and nobody don't got their hand in this but us.
Hey Terry, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not running down on no nigga that got a radio, video, soul voice and shit.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. You told them don't run down on you. This is what I literally been telling people for the last 5 years.
Fam,
don't even talk to me at shows.
You sound like you got a deuce in your boot.
That's what's up though. Because people forget. They forget
that you ain't going with them kind of voices. That's from years and years.
I'm like, yo,
dark liquor,
wrestling is
darker women.
Wrestling is one thing, but don't. If I'm personally doing something,
don't run down on me.
Oh yeah, no,
because it's gonna be something totally different.
I hear that shit, Terry. Talk that shit, Terry.
Hey, man. Danielle, get in this. I'm getting
for real though. That's how it goes.
I just had one thing I wanted you guys to spotlight on, or to highlight rather. You guys, you sound like you've had a really good run. Like I totally, from the day that I met Earl and Matt, like I'm super big fans. But I know for every great moment, there's some challenges, and we briefly touched on it when we hung out in Baltimore. What are some challenges that you faced, and how would you guide maybe, say, an up-and-coming podcast around not going through those challenges?
Can I say this one? I say this one?
Go ahead.
It be folks that don't put in the work, right?
Uh-oh.
And then they be like, oh, look, these niggas on fire. Let me get on the bandwagon. But they get
hold on, cuz. For those who do not speak,
talk to them.
410 terminology or vernacular.
You said far.
Far.
I'm sorry.
Far is fire.
It's funny that I'm in Jersey and I knew exactly what the fuck you said.
I know, I didn't even realize it.
I've gotten a Baltimore education over the last 3-4 years, for real.
That's
sorry,
Dorsey
brother
today,
fam. I'm sorry, brother fam. Proceed.
So you get on a nice run and catch me like, oh yeah, that's what's up. I like your movement because I'm seeing it. But then when they don't get the exact reaction they want from your hot run, they turn on you. And it be people that look like you sometimes.
Right.
And they be like, yo,
wow,
why ain't high on the list?
Damn. He's not Brother Fam anymore. I gotta call him Dipset, because that is the most diplomatic way you've addressed that particular situation. I love it. But I do, yeah. Because and again, it's not even like we're rubbing elbows with a lot of wrestlers. You feel me? Like a lot of the support, a lot of our peers,
a lot of big name wrestlers.
I'm just, that's why I'm saying in general, it's like, and again, it's no disrespect. Again, Flex, if you saw a Chris Bay video with him wrestling with Katie Forbes, he had the you know where we stand Black Wrestling T-shirt on. We ain't asking for that. You know, Chris Bay's just somebody that we've showed love to, and likewise, if he had a hoodie on the one episode, we couldn't get a good video of it. I need to actually find out where that was. I'd love to get a good clip of that. But we've been able to forge really good relationships with certain professional wrestlers because they understand. You know, I mean, shouts out. You know, I've never talked to Sonny Kiss, but Sonny Kiss, anytime there's something on the timeline that he likes, he will drop a double tap on there. You know, what I mean, and likewise, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to represent for what you appreciate in pro wrestling, and I think real ones will show love. I think one of the
sorry,
things
I had to go get more Hennessy.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Serial killer. He got the mask and the gloves under the table. After we're done, he got it. You see, he's got all black on.
Like,
he about to do a job.
The nigga serial killer, or he's always enraged. But whenever he puts his Hennessy in him, it puts him at bay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the nigga
he turns into a violent individual.
Without his
he was like, I got to kill everybody.
Sorry, Terry.
Nah, but
good.
I think because it's always I never know what everybody else's dynamic is when it comes to like multiple people, because everybody's podcast seems to be like it's not just two people, it's like 3 and 4. Like Jobber-tiers, it's like it'd be 4 or 5 people at the table. It's crazy enough.
Why homie yelling like that, Danielle?
He was upset.
He a pro wrestler.
He was upset.
He a pro wrestler.
Wilkins, he said, like I saw this shit on mute, and I'm like, God damn, that man pissed off. But I think I think the most difficult things we've had to endure. Actually, it was one of the hardest Zoom conversations we've ever had. Was a couple months ago trying to figure out the final tally for the Black Wrestling 2020 list. Nah, I mean, this man shaking his head, and I mean, I'm gonna break it down for people that don't know.
That wasn't hard though.
That nigga, please. We was in that. We had like a 3-hour Zoom. I was working on the one side, but it's the thing. It's because we're 3 different people. It's Brother Math is the heart. Like if you think of like the passionate, emotional pro wrestling fan, but also just like individual, that's him. And he also rides for a lot of pro wrestlers that you don't even know. You know what I mean? A lot of indie talent, both here and overseas. Brother Fam is I think one of the keys with Fam is definitely like the guy who is looking at the show. Like he wants to fuck the bullshit. Like who is the person that's gonna put the asses in the seats? Who's the person that's gonna be top bill? Who deserves to be that position? So it's already crazy trying to go indie and you know, just like the cream of the crop in, you know, the quote unquote most important shows. Me, I don't really give a fuck. I just want to make sure that shit looks right. So at some point, it's kind of just like, all right, so what the hell are we going to do? You know what I mean? And then that's a 15-minute conversation because Math wants to make sure that, you know, XYZ is on because the list of
AR Fox. It was AR Fox.
It was AR Fox. Oh. The list will look crazy if AR Fox is not in there. And there's certain individuals that probably at this point probably shouldn't even made the list that made the list, and we were trying to figure out.
Number 51?
That is number 51.
He was number 51 at one point.
Hey, Terry, do you have a beep button?
He's asking you to edit. He's asking you to edit, Terry. He said no.
He said no. I could take out that if you want.
Yeah. No, take this part out.
Oh, no, we ain't taking that out.
That's number 51.
That's not taking 51, that out. Nigga. I have no. Love for you, but we'll put the name out. But y'all will wonder who we talking about. I saw this dude last October, and
Y'all done got him.
Talk your shit, Terry.
Say it.
No, talk that shit, Terry. I know you banging.
Yo,
say that
so
shit 2 times.
We at the thing before pay-per-view that this company is having. I'm gonna be politically correct, and I'm not gonna put them out there because I still could support the company and the people that's there.
Word.
So you know, we do our little meet and greet, going around meeting everybody, and me being who I am, like, yo, let me go support, you know, people in like, you know, I saw him maybe like in 2015. Totally different person than who he was last October.
Yes, I bet.
Go up and see him, just like he didn't even care. It's like you can't even put your phone down to sign this picture, take the picture and everything. And it's like, oh, I just wasted my time to come up here and do something. Then saw him the next day at the show, and he was like, "Oh, you gonna boo me?"
That sounds very familiar. It's almost like we had a similar interaction. We just had it over Instagram. And you know what? I will say, I'm not, because we haven't
inbox.
Stay out the inbox, nigga.
If you want to hear the whole story, there's an episode we did about a month or so ago called "Take Me Off This List, Thanks." That's a quote. That's something he said to us on Instagram. But the funniest part about that story is
taking the name out. By the way.
After he got so hype and said all that stuff and then deleted all the comments, my man went on Instagram Live and he was pumped. He was lifting, he was riding, he was doing the treadmill. Like there was some type of fire in him. He was like, you know what? Either I can't fight these niggas. It's COVID, and I will look crazy if I drove to somebody's house. But then he was like, you know what?
Meet me in Temecula.
I gotta crack that top 10. Black Rasslin Podcast, BRP 50 2021. If I'm not top 10,
you 51.
Yo, in his mind, he was in a whole 80s movie montage, yo.
Because he wasn't saying shit. He was in there and he was working the fuck out.
Nah, it's the anger. You know what I mean? When you go home and you can't talk to your wife because she white and she don't know the pain that you're going through. She don't know that pain.
Stupid.
She don't know the minority pain. You feel me?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Because ain't nobody.
But he might not. I don't know if he recognizes it though.
Of course, because she could walk into Whole Foods and I get tackled, nigga.
I'm saying he
with no mask on.
Your man seems delusional, is what I'm saying. Like,
no.
Wait, he did have a Black Lives Matter post on his IG though, right?
Nah, he's not.
Oh, okay.
Back to you, Danielle.
Back to you, Danielle.
I knew what I was doing when I asked the question.
Talk about it.
I knew what I was doing when I asked the question.
Not mad at that though. Not mad at it. Because, well, again, it's real. It's for something that we do out of the love. You would hope that we would recognize that and at the very least have a conversation, because we've had a couple of run-ins.
Yeah.
Ball head
like daddies.
Not even. I'm not, because we still haven't even broke that one down yet. But ball.
How long we got on here, Danielle?
Not long after they started what we talk about.
Terry's the one who have to edit it, so we can't go too long.
Okay. Well,
we got
just putting this up uncut. However
long we got stories for days.
Well, because Ballhead
White
over there
yo.
in the Jaguar town, or the house that the Jaguars built. Right. We had conversations with him back and forth.
Hold on, time out.
You know who I'm talking about.
Nah, time out though. We ain't gonna talk about nothing about no house that the Jaguars built.
I mean, look.
F the Jaguars, they do not get no type of love on this show. Nowhere around here.
No, I was not being.
Say something. I listen.
I was not being disrespectful. I mean, it's facts though. I mean, I had to do the research. It's not just that.
Where my coach hat at? I'm tired of this.
Look, it's not just that my man's.
You gonna disrespect niggas outside of Baltimore with Colts gear?
But I'm saying, are we
to the Ursays? Now
are we dealing with facts or not?
I don't care about AFC football though.
If Mans wasn't an NFL owner, would AEW even have any of this? They wouldn't have a place to even do, because that's the practice facility that they've been doing the show at. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to disrespect any affiliations. I'm not even I don't care. I don't give that much of a shit at all.
But you called him Ballhead Yo.
Ballhead Yo.
Yeah. That's some Baltimore shit. Cal is
I told you I'm Baltimore adjacent.
Honorary.
Yeah.
Honorary.
Baltimore shit.
Honorary.
Ballhead. We had a back and forth with Ballhead Yo about the Tessa Blanchard situation that's still unresolved, and it's always fun. What do they say? All skin folk and kinfolk. You know, I think over the last couple of years we realized that when it comes to pro wrestling, there's a lot of real shouts out. You know, Chris Bay again, shouts out Willie Mack. You know what I'm saying?
Big Ricky Starks.
Real
Ricky
nigga.
Starks, Big Swole. You know what I'm saying? Like Trisha Dora. There's a lot of people that, you know, we've and it's not even on some like, you know, Stan or, you know, what can you do for me, da da da. It's genuine, like we fuck with you, you fuck with us. And you know, we just rock like that. But there are some rotten apples in that bunch, which
it's a couple of y'all that like to dip your toes into the coon pool.
Right.
Oh, we're gonna go there.
I wasn't.
Look, that's all you need.
Hold on.
It's just a quote I've been saying all week. It's something I've been saying all week.
You just wanted to say the coon pool. That's all you wanted to do.
This isn't our show.
It isn't.
We don't want to get them canceled.
I didn't say no names.
All right, back to the coon
get
pool.
Canceled. We on the website.
Ballhead Yo, right?
Yes.
All right.
Ballhead Yo.
Yes.
Came in when there was an issue with the chin. Shout out to Cal, brother fam, Math, them niggas is wild.
Brian H. Waters from the wrestling realm. If I love wrestling, if you love wrestling, then we love wrestling.